Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to Chemistry Online Classes. Today we are going to discuss about very easy method to find number of bond pair and number of lone pair of electron present in any compound given actually. It's very important one actually, my dear students. These are related JEE, NEET, CET related question actually. So it's from chemical bonding, JEE NEET related topic. Okay, my dear students, first of all I given one table. This table, using this table, how we can find out? That's a question. My dear students, I wrote here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Below that lithium, beryllium, magnesium. In third row I wrote boron, aluminum, gallium, and here fourth row carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, like that is given. Understood? Here actually fifth row nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, like that. It is given one row, second row, third row, fourth row. It is given like. My dear students, please note down. So what it indicates? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is number of valency electron is present in that particular atom. For lithium, 1 valency electron is present. For beryllium, magnesium, 2 valency electron is present. For boron, aluminum, gallium, 3 valency electron is present, like that. Understood? Nitrogen, 5 valency electron, oxygen, 6 valency electron, krypton, 8 valency electron, arsenic, 5 valency electrons. These are given. Understood? That is number is given. No, that number is given. No, it is actually nothing but number of valency electron is present in that particular atom. My dear students, how to find number of lone pair and bond pair electron is present in this particular? Very important thing. First we will come across this particular BF3. B, boron. Boron having 3 valency electron. 3 valency electron. Look at this, my dear students. Boron 3 valency electron. That means that 3 valency electron form 3 bond with the 3 fluoride atom. So bond pair is 3. Is there any electron left? No, only 3 valency electron is there. That I will write here, my dear students. See, 3 valency electron of boron. That form bond with the 3 fluorine atom. 3 fluorine atom. Understood? 3 valency electron of boron form bond with the 3 bond with the 3 fluorine atom. That means how many bond pair formed? 3 bond pair formed. 3 bond pair formed. Is there any lone pair electron left? Only 3 valency electron that forms 3 bond with the lone pair electron. LP I will write. Okay, 0. 0. Okay. Next, my dear students, boron. I will put a line here. Okay. Otherwise you will get confused. BrF5. Okay, my dear students, next is BF4 minus. BF4 minus, boron. Boron tetrafluoride actually, minus. Boron is 3 electrons. Correct? No. Here one minus charge is there. Minus charge means 3 plus 1. Total 4 electron. Total how many electrons? Total 4 electron. 3 valency electron of boron, extra minus 1 is there. Minus 1 is, you have to add that one. Boron 3 plus 1, total 4 electrons in this one, in this case. So 4 electrons. It forms 4 bond with the 4 fluoride atom. Boron forms 4 bond. So bond pair is 4. Understood? And lone pair, is there any electron left after forming bond pair? No, it is actually formed. See, 4 electron boron. Why? 1 extra electron is present here. It forms 4 bond with the 4 fluoride, like this. Correct? Is there any electron left? No, 0. Understood? So number of bond pair, number of lone pair, you can find out. Correct? No. And my dear students, this one phosphate PO4 3 minus. Phosphor is central atom. We are finding, see, valency of central atom you have to find out, not oxygen, okay? Very important. Here also, B is central atom. Central atom valency electron you have to see. Here also B is central atom. Central atom valency electron you have to see. Okay. Here phosphorus. Phosphorus is 5. 5. 5 means 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3. Total how many electron it has? This one 5 plus 3. Here 3 minus is there. That means you have to add that electron. 5 plus 3. 5 is valency electron of phosphorus, plus 3 is there, extra 3 electron is there. That means 5 plus 3 is how much? 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons. Total 8 electron it has. My dear students, imagine 8 electron. So it will form bond with the 4 oxygen atom. 4 oxygen atom. 4 oxygen atom. Each oxygen atom form double bond. Double bond. Double bond. Correct? For example, my dear students, look at this one. Like this, like this, like this. Understood? So, how many electron is used in this case? In this case, how many electron is used? 4 oxygen atom. 4 oxygen atom. 4 oxygen atom forms double bond with the phosphorus. That means each oxygen bond required actually how many electrons? 2 electron of phosphorus is oxygen. For example, one oxygen bond is required 2 electron of phosphorus. Like how many bonds are there? 4 bond with the oxygen atom. 4 bond means how many electron is required? That is very important, my dear students, because oxygen forms double bond. Each bond takes 2 electron of phosphorus. Here phosphorus having total 8 electrons. Imagine 4 bond is there, oxygen bond is there, means it is double bond only. 4 double. That means 8 electron is required. 8 electron is required. Phosphorus, so here forming bond with the oxygen, it required 8 electron. Why? Oxygen is actually, tell me. Okay. Double bond, it forms double bond. My dear students, when we write here bond pair, total number of electron is 8 in phosphorus. Okay, that you should know. And here bond pair, when you write, oxygen uses 8 electron. 4 oxygen uses 8 electron of phosphorus to form bond like this. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electron of phosphorus used for forming bond with the oxygen. Note down. Then how many bond pair is there means if we asked, see it's not possible to write here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 bond pair is there. It is not like that. It is not like that. How many bond pair is there means, my dear students, you are writing the double bond or triple bond in VSPR theory. Write down. Note down. In double bond or triple bond in VSPR theory is treated as a super single bond. Super single bond. So, when we say, okay, phosphor form bond with the oxygen, each oxygen takes 2 electron from phosphorus to form bond. That means 4 oxygen required 8 electron of phosphorus. That is over. Completely taken. This 8 electron of phosphorus completely taken for bond formation. That means it forms 8 bond. But each double bond is treated as a single bond only. In VSPR theory. Understood? VSPR theory, multiple bonds are treated as a super single bond. Understood? So, how many bond pair is there means you are not writing 8 bond is there, not like that. You are writing 4 bonds because double bond also treated as a single bond. Okay, 4 bond pairs. Okay, lone pair is 0. That means 8 electron is used, there is no electron left out. Correct? No? 0. My dear student, next I3 minus. Here I3 minus I can write like this. I2 minus is nothing but I3 minus only, because in I3 is there, 3 iodine is there. In 3 iodine, 1 iodine is present at the center. 1 iodine is present at the center like this. Remaining 2 iodine are attached to this particular like this. So you are finding central atom valency electron. Iodine central atom valency electron is 7. 7. Okay, 7 minus 1, that means 1 extra electron is there, that you have to add. 7 plus 3, total 7 plus 3, total 8 electron. Here minus is there, I3 minus is there. So 7 plus 3, 8 electron. 7 plus 3, 8 electron. Okay, 8 electron. So my dear students, it forms how many bond? See, you can write I3 minus I2 minus, that is over the same, and that means it forms 2 bond with the 2 iodine. That means number of bond pair is 2. 2. Out of 8 electron, 2 electron is used for bonding with the 2 electron is used for bonding with the 2 iodine atom. Understood? Now remaining electron in this one, 8 minus 2, 6 electrons. That means lone pair. How many lone pair? Pair. 6 electron means how many pair? 3 pairs. Okay, 3 pairs. Very simple. Okay. Next is sulfur dioxide, my dear students. Sulfur is central atom. Okay. Oxygen is a attached atom. Sulfur valency electron is 6. 6. Okay. 6 electron. Sulfur contains 6 electron. Okay. Here sulfur form bond with the oxygen. Oxygen is a divalent. 2-2 bond it forms. That means for 2 oxygen bond formation with the sulfur means 2 bond with the sulfur oxygen forms. Each, for example, single sulfur molecule means single oxygen atom. For consider one oxygen atom, if it forms bond with it required how many electrons of sulfur? It requires 2 electron of sulfur. 2 electron of sulfur, and forming another oxygen, it requires 4 electron of sulfur. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 electron of sulfur is used because oxygen forms double bond with the sulfur. So 4 electron is used. So bond pair is actually, even though if it is 4 electron is used, 4 electron is used, you are treating that actually 4 out of this one, 4 electron is used for bonding with the oxygen. But when we asked how many bond pair is there? How many bond pair is there? So here electron is used. Out of 6 electron, 4 electron of sulfur is used. Okay. Remaining electron is 2 electron. Remaining 2 electron is there. Okay, that you leave like that. Okay. So how many bond pair is there? 2 bond pair. How? This double bond is treated as a super single bond. This double bond is treated as a super single bond. So bond pair is, my dear students, 2 bond pair. But the total number of electron is used for this one. Note down, wherever oxygen comes, the double bond also treated as a single bond, while writing bond pair is considered as a super single bond. Here 4 bond is there, but each 2 bond is considered as a 1 bond. Here 2 bond is considered as a 1 bond. Here 2 bond pair. Understood? 2 bond pair. But sulfur having 6 electron, 4 electron is used for this particular bonding. Remaining is 2 electron. How many lone pair of electron is present, my dear students? 1 lone pair. Remaining electron is 2. 4 electron is used, but remaining electron is 2. My dear students, don't get confused with the term. While telling the electron, you have to consider valency electron of sulfur. Sulfur having 6 valency electron. Understood? It forms bond with the 2 oxygen atom. Each oxygen atom required 2 sulfur electron. That means 2 oxygen atom required 4 sulfur electron. 4 sulfur electron is required from bonding double bond. Understood? That means out of 6, 4 is used. Remaining 2 electron. Remaining 2 electron is nothing but one lone pair of electron. One lone pair of electron. Understood? Here while writing the bond pair, even though if it 4 bonds are there, means you are writing not 4 bonds. They are considered as a super single bond, it is 2 bonds. Okay. But in all other cases, monovalent is easy, very easy. Understood? But in case of divalent, that point you have to note down. Okay. My dear students, here ClF3. Cl is central atom. Cl is a central atom, my dear students. Cl is central atom. Okay. What is atomic number of Cl? Valency electron of Cl? 7. Cl having 7 electrons. 7 electron. It already formed 3 bond with the 3 fluoride. 7 minus 3. 7 minus 3 means, that means bond pair is how many? Bond pair is how many bond it forms with this particular? 3. 3. Lone pair. Lone pair means 7 minus 3. 7, 6, 5, 4. 4 electron is remaining. 4 electron is meaning how many pair? 2 pair. Lone pair is 2. Okay. My dear students, next one is BrF5, bromide. Bromide actually here 7 electrons, my dear students. 7 electrons. Total 7 valency electrons. Bromide 7 valency electrons. Okay. It forms 5 bond with the fluoride. 5 bond with the fluoride. That means bond pair of this one is 5. 5 electron. 5. Understood? Not 5 electron, 5. And remaining electrons, 7 minus 5, 2 electrons. That means lone pair is present 1. 2 electron means 1 pair. Remember, 2 electron means 1 pair. Okay. Don't get confused with the term. Okay, my dear students, next is xenon difluoride. Xenon actually 8 valency electron. Xenon 8 valency electron. 8 valency electron. It forms 2 bond with the 2 fluoride. That means bond pair of this particular compound is 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 means you are considering lone pair of electron means 3 lone pair. 6 electron means 3 pair. Bond pair, lone pair. My dear students, xenon tetrafluoride, next one. Xenon tetrafluoride in this one 8 electron. Xenon having 8 electron. Understood? It forms 4 bond with the 4 fluoride atom. That means bond pair is 4. And remaining 8 minus 4, 4 electron is remaining. Lone pair means 2 pair. 4 electron. Okay. My dear students, next one is xenon hexafluoride. Xenon 8 electron. It forms 6 bond. That means bond pair is 6 electron. Lone pair is 6 minus 2. 8 minus 6, 2 electron. That means 1 pair. Not 6 electron, 6 bond pair. Understood? My dear student, xenon oxyfluoride, tetraoxyfluoride, that means, understood? Not tetraoxy, oxyfluoride, xenon oxyfluoride. In this one, xenon is central atom, oxygen and fluoride is attached to the central atom. So xenon, a valency electron is 8. Understood? It forms, how many bond it forms? Xenon forms actually 4 fluoride bonds, 1 oxygen bond. 4 fluoride bonds, it required actually 4 electron, and 1 oxygen bond required 2 electron. Correct? No? So 4 plus 2 electron, total 6 electron is used. 6 electron is used. 6 electron is used. Okay. That means 6 electron is used. But that oxygen double bond is treated as a super single bond. If I ask how many bond pair is there, means it forms 4 bond with the C. Xenon forms 4 bond with the 4 fluoride atom like this, and even though if it is double bond, it is treated as a single bond. So bond pair means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bond pair. I am not writing about electron. How many electron is used? 6 electron is used. For by 5 bond pair, it used actually 6 electron. So 8 minus 6, 2 electron is remaining. Lone pair is nothing but, my dear students, 1 electron. So not 1, 2 electron is remaining. 2 electron means 1 pair. Okay. So next one is xenon O2F2. Here xenon O2F2, my dear students, very important thing is xenon. It has 8 electron. 8 electron, and here it forms 4 bonds. 4 bond, which means xenon actually forms 2 bond with the 2 oxygen atom, that is double bond, and single bond with the fluorine. 1, 2 means if for xenon 8 electron it has, 2 electron is used for forming bond with the fluorine. 2 electron is used to forming bond with the fluorine, and 4 electron is used for forming bond with the 2 oxygen atom. 4 plus 2, total 6 electron is used. 6 electron is used, but here xenon oxygen bond is treated as a super single bond. So bond pair is 1, 2, 3, 4 bond pair. Lone pair is 8 minus 6, 1 lone pair. Okay, no doubt, my dear students. Students, this is one of the very important method to find the shape of a molecule, because shape of a molecule you are predicting is different. Geometry is different. Shape of a molecule is different. My dear students, I explained okay, how to find this particular. For example, my dear students, okay, in this case, okay, this first one, number of hybridization, what is hybridization of this particular? How to find hybridization, my dear students? H is equal to hybridization, number of valency electron of central atom plus number of monovalent atom plus charge of cation plus charge of anion, A I will write here, minus charge of cation. This is the formula that I explained in the earlier class. Go through that video, it is clearly given. Understood? Hybridization finding formula. Here number of valency electron central atom, xenon is 8 plus monovalent atom, this is divalent atom, oxygen. We are not going to consider divalent atom. Monovalent atom is 2, 8 plus 2. Is there any charge anion cation? No. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 means sp3. If you are getting 5 means it is sp3d. sp3d. Like it is each time it is given hybridization. If you are getting 2 hybridization value, that means sp hybridization. 3 means sp2 hybridization. 4 means sp3 hybridization. 5 means sp3d hybridization. 6 means sp3d2 hybridization. 7 means sp3d3 hybridization. By using this formula, number of valency electron plus number of monovalent atom plus charge on anion minus charge on cation. This is the formula. For all, we done with that part actually. You just go through that earlier video. This is the method. And finding lone pair and bond pair also over, but I wrote here 4 bond pair and 1 lone pair is there. Total 5 pair of electron. Here what do you mean by this one? 5 means 5 pair of electron is there. 4 bond pair, 1 lone pair. 5 means 5 pair of electron. If you are getting 5 pair means it is sp3d. 4 pair means sp3. 3 pair means sp2. In that 5 pair, 4 bond pair and 1 lone pair is there, my dear students. How to find lone pair and bond pair? Just now I explained. Correct? No? That method. Okay. This is sp3d hybridization. sp3d is actually trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Trigonal bipyramidal. For example, I will write here, my dear students. Imagine this is atom A and B. This is actually trigonal bipyramidal. Two pyramid here, one and here. Trigonal bipyramidal shape. Trigonal bipyramidal geometry. But shape varies, my dear students. I will explain why shape varies. It is general geometry of sp3d is trigonal bipyramidal. Note down, my dear students. Trigonal bipyramidal. This one. Trigonal bipyramidal. For this one, my dear students, here 4 bond pair and 1 lone pair is there. 4 bond pair and 1 lone pair is there. So, I will explain one concept. Please listen, my dear students, is very important. Here, this is actually trigonal bipyramidal shape. Trigonal bipyramidal. My dear students, very important thing is, this is axial bonding. Axial bonding. These three are equatorial bonding. These three are equatorial bonding. Equatorial bonding. Equatorial bonding and axial bonding. Two concepts. Axial means these three are in one plane. For example, 1, 2, 3. And one is above, that is axial. One is below, that is axial. Okay. Here, very important concept is these axial form 90 degree with each equatorial bond. See, for example, this one form 90 degree with this one, this equatorial bond, and this one form 90 degree with this equatorial bond also. Correct? No? This one form 90 degree with this equatorial bond also. That means one axial bond. One axial. Actually, axial bond is linear. Axial bond is linear. Axial bond, if you consider, it is linear. Correct? No? 180 degree. But each axial form, each axial bond form 390 degree with the 3 equatorial bonds. Each axial bond form 90 degree with the 3 equatorial bonds. Correct? No? Each axial bond forms 90 degree with the each equatorial bond. So, each axial bond forms how many 90 degree with the, see, it forms 390 degree actually, 390 degree. Correct? No? Same time, one more question is, each, see, actually, this is actually 180 degree. Axial bond actually it forms a 180 degree. Here one more question arises. Each equatorial bond forms 290 degree bond with the axial. ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ತೆಗೀರಿ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಇಕ್ವಿಟೋರಿಯಲ್, ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಈಚ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ 390 ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್ with 3 equatorial bonds, with the 3 equatorial. This is also form same with these 3. Correct? No? But axial bonding is 180. Axial to axial is 180. Correct? No? But each axial bond forms with each equatorial bond is 90 degree. So 3 equatorial bond is there, 390 degree forms each axial bonds. Correct? No? If you consider each equatorial bonds, this one I will consider, equatorial bond forms 290 degree with the two axial bonds. Correct? No? Correct? No? Two, here I will write, each equatorial forms 290 degree angle with the two axial bonds. So here, my dear students, each equatorial bonds experience two bond pair repulsion. Correct? ಇದು ಒಂದು ಈಕ್ವಟೋರಿಯಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎರಡು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಎರಡು ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದು ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪೇರ್ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ 3 ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪೇರ್ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. Each axial bond forms 3 bond 90 degree bond with the 3 equatorial bonds. Same time it experience 3 ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪೇರ್ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್. ಈ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ 3 ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪೇರ್ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪೇರ್ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಾಂಡೆಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್ ಆಗೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈಚ್ ಇಕ್ವಟೋರಿಯಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ 2 ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪೇರ್ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್. ವೈ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 2 ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ 90 degree with this particular. Clear? So in which case bond pair repulsion is more, in axial bonding or equatorial bonding? In axial bonding it experience 3 bond pair repulsion, 3 bond pair repulsion. So lone pair electron always try to occupy equatorial position. Why it occupies equatorial position? To avoid the repulsion, because if lone pair repulsion is more compared to lone pair bond pair, so my dear students, in this case axial bond experience more repulsion compared to equatorial bond. So always what happens, to avoid this repulsion, if there any lone pair is there, means it always prefer which side? It prefer any of this equatorial side other than axial and not interested about this axial. Why? Means axial experience more repulsion. Correct? No? Axial bond experience repulsion from 3-sided. This bond experience 1, 2, 3-sided repulsion. This bond experience 1, 2, 3-sided repulsion. So, but in the case of this equatorial bond experience 1, 2 repulsion. Only 2 axial bonds. This also experience 1, 2 repulsion. This also experience 1, 2 repulsion. So, in order to avoid, if there any lone pair of electron is there, means it always prefer any of this equatorial position, not in axial position. So, this is about trigonal bipyramidal, axial and equatorial. So based on that, if there any lone pair of electron is there, you have to place that particular in a equatorial position to avoid repulsion. My dear students, in this case xenon oxyfluoride, what is the structure actually? Xenon at the center, understood, and 2 fluoride atom is there. 2 fluoride atom means, here I will write, my dear students, 1 fluoride, another fluoride, and 2 oxygen atom. Each oxygen atom forms a double bond with this particular, correct? 2 oxygen atom. That means 1, 2, 3, 4 bond pair, correct? No, this double bond is treated as a super single bond. 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds, and 1 lone pair where you can keep one lone pair he can keep in a equatorial position. Equatorial position. Equatorial position. So here you can see, my dear students, total 4 bond pairs, 1, 2, 3, 4 bond pairs, 1 lone pair, one lone pair, correct no? Correct no? Total 5 pair of electron, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pair of electron. Which shape this one? This is not trigonal pyramidal. Geometry is trigonal pyramidal. Shape is different. This is called seesaw shape. Seesaw. It is actually looks like same, like this. Seesaw. But it is not actually trigonal bipyramidal, because lone pair of electron is there. It is shape is actually, when we use this lone pair of electron, the shape changes. It is called seesaw. If all are bond pair means it is trigonal bipyramidal. If all are bond pair means trigonal bipyramidal. If there any lone pair is there, based on that its shape changes. Shape is called seesaw. Seesaw. Always you should keep this lone pair electron here. The same time, always you should keep this double bonded electron, double bonded oxygen also in a equatorial position. Why means to avoid the repulsion. Why I place this fluorine in axial position means, if I place this oxygen in axial position, it gives more repulsion, because more number of electron is there. So remember, lone pair of electron also you should keep in the equatorial position. Oxygen also are in a equatorial position. This is first shape. Over. Xenon also. ClF3, my dear students, next one. This part is over, no? Shall I rub this? Okay. ClF3. In ClF3, my dear students, by applying this formula, 7 electrons, this is actually 7 electron plus number of monovalent 3 electron, 7 plus 3, 10 electron divided by 2, sp3d only. sp3d means which geometry it is? Trigonal bipyramidal. Bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramid, but here 3 bond pair, 2 lone pair is there. So shape changes. Shape is different, geometry is different. Geometry means if all are bond pairs, then it is trigonal bipyramidal. Here 2 lone pair is there, but shape changes. What you can say? Here Cl at the center, my dear students, 2 lone pair is there. Where you have to keep that lone pair, my dear students, to avoid the repulsion? To avoid this repulsion of this particular, where you have to keep? You have to keep this particular lone pair at the equatorial position. 1 lone pair here, 1 lone pair here, and another fluoride bond is here, another fluoride bond is here, another fluoride bond is here. So by looking at this one, it looks like what? It looks like trigonal bipyramidal, but here 2 lone pair is there. But so the shape is called bent T shape. T shape. It is called T shape. Okay. Generally geometry is trigonal bipyramidal, but here 2 lone pair is there. So here we are considering only bond pair, means it becomes T shape. T in the form of T. Okay. Use this one. Over. Next, my dear students, next one. Xenon fluoride, this one. Xenon fluoride actually 8 electron, 8 plus 2 means 10 electron, 10 plus divided by 2 means 5. Again it is 5 only, sp3d. General geometry is trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal. But same time, my dear students, shape is different. Xenon, and how many lone pair is there? 3 lone pair. 3 lone pair you have to place at 3 corners, 3 equatorial position. Okay, 2 fluoride here. So 2 fluoride. While telling the shape, actually no need to consider this lone pair. The shape changes. Now only bond pair means it's, look at this particular, it is linear shape. Which shape? Linear shape. Linear shape. But general geometry is trigonal bipyramidal. Shape is linear. Bond pair only you are considering means linear. Okay. Shall have this. My dear student, next is I3 minus. That means I2 minus. One I at the center, and here actually two bond pair. Sorry, no, I can't write like that. Three lone pair is there. So I3 minus I2, that I will write like this, my dear students. Look at this. I3 minus, I can write like this. I2 minus. That means two bonded atom is there. One extra. 7 plus this minus 1 means plus 1. Two extra electron, two monovalent. Plus 10. 10 divided by 2 means 5. 5 means sp3d. This is general geometry is trigonal bipyramidal, but the shape is different, my dear students. One I at the center, okay, I at the center, and another I is placed here, another I is placed here, and one lone pair here, another lone pair here, and another lone pair here. So this is, if geometry is shape, geometry is trigonal bipyramidal, but the shape is linear, the same one, linear, because I form bond like this, linear. Okay, over. Okay, next is, my dear students, xenon oxyfluoride. This one, actually xenon 10 is there, 8 electron plus 4, this one 8, 12 by 2 is 6 means sp3d2, my dear students. sp3d2 means which geometry it is? All are one lone pair is there, my dear students, in this one. sp3d2 means octahedral geometry, my dear students. Octahedral geometry is octahedral, shape difference, okay, octahedral, where you have to keep this one lone pair of electron, my dear students. Octahedral shape means how we can write a octahedral? A, B, 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 B. This is actually octahedral geometry, my dear students. Octahedral geometry. Look at this. General geometry I wrote here. Understood? For this one, where I can place lone pair? Any here or in equatorial position I can place. But in this case, actually, I place this particular oxygen. Now look at this one. This is actually general geometry written. Okay, over. The xenon, fluoride. In this case, I keep one oxygen here. Why? To avoid the repulsion away from. See, this is actually square planar. Imagine square planar, and one is above, another one is below. And one lone pair here. Okay, these all 4 fluoride atoms are in one plane. But oxygen double bonded is away from the plane, this lone pair electron below. And this is for homework for you. Note down, my dear students.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the